welcome back to my channel. Okay, I'm so excited to be able to do a be lifing. All right, so today my name is Tiana. Hoping that this is all going well. But following my micro Locs journey is the biggest thing. And so yeah, we talk about hair care and we talk about hair tutorials. We also do other stuff too, like DIY projects and stuff like that because I love them so much. But today I think we're actually gonna finish tonight. I thought we had another section, but the last section is like a page. So it gives you a lot of, what does it give you? It gives you a lot of answers to some common questions that you might have. So hopefully, you know, the connection is good, even if my face freezes, because I know that happens, but hopefully at least the words will still keep going. So let's see. All right, so yes, we are reading this Grow It Long book by Donna Hanover. And so at the end of her book, she gives you like some questions and solutions, questions that people have written to her or brought up to her, and she is going to give you what her answers would have been based on her O'Hara method and all the things we talked about in this book about how to grow your hair, especially if you have nice curly hair like I do. All right, so let's start with the first question. So her first question is someone who commented and said they have super dry hair after their shampooing. She said, hello, Donna, my hair is really dry right after I wash it. And what can I do about that? So her response is that the first thing she wanted to know is, do you use a regular shampoo? And if so, take note of the natural alternatives that were provided to you in the book. Because it may take you a very short while after trying the no shampoo method of washing your hair to see the difference. And I think this is great advice because many times you give advice to people and they try it once or twice and then they're like, oh, it just doesn't work. But you do have to keep in mind that, and let me just check something real quick. You do have to keep in mind that sometimes things take time to see if it's working or if it's not working. So sometimes if you're doing the right thing or you're following good advice, sometimes you just have to give it time. And that's very true with hair also. So Donna wrote, for me, this is an absolute major benefit and she can't speak of it enough. The first thing that you're going to notice by using the no shampoo method, and there should be a video on my channel. I don't know if it's particular to shampoo, but it should be one of our earlier videos on the book where she talked about what you can use in place of shampoo. But she said you'll notice your hair feeling a lot softer and not feeling as dry and brittle, and that the dry and brittle feeling is a result of the sulfates often in a shampoo will strip your hair strands. And think about how your hair feels when it is dirty. And then when you get it shampooed, the first days after the shampoo feels really harsh and dry, and it doesn't style too nicely. So again, being careful and considerate of those products that are inside of your shampoo, and knowing that some of them are pretty harsh, and that your hair, kind of like your skin, makes its own kind of oils and things anyway. It already makes those things anyway. So with that being said, sometimes if your shampoo is too harsh, then your hair doesn't start to get back to its normal self with its normal shine and everything until after, you know, it's been some time since you've had the shampooing, and then it starts to kind of replenish itself. But if that's always happening, then it may not be the best shampoo that you're using. Next question. How do you save your hair after braiding or after having it in like a protective style for a long time? And she said, hey, Donna, every time I remove my braids or twist from my hair, it's very long, but it feels like straw, breaks off very fast. And what can I do so that I don't lose all of it? This is very important, especially for all of you people combing out your locks and leaving a lock community, because that's kind of like leaving your hair in a protective style and then leaving your hair in a protective style and then taking it out. And a lot of people, you see the growth, but you usually cannot keep the growth, and that is not a good thing. So she wrote or responds back by saying, well, the number one thing you need to know is that you must never shampoo your hair while you're wearing the braids or the weave. I don't agree with this. I feel like depending on your style, you absolutely can shampoo your hair. But she said the shampoo gets trapped inside the braids and it cannot be easily washed out, which causes your hair to feel stripped and brittle. Secondly, you need to keep your own hair moist while it's in the braids. Now that is very true. In your protective style, and if you have locks and you plan on taking them out, moisture still has to be a lot of your routine. So if you're wearing twists as your protective style, keep them moist, never let them dry out. But if you're wearing it for an extended period of time, that's when shampoo might come in. Or if you have a scalp like mine who just kind of likes to be shampooed often, and you're wearing a style for 2, 3, 4 weeks, you might want to shampoo in between also. But keep it moisturized as much as possible, because when it's moisturized, when you take it out and you're trying to manipulate it and work with it and everything, it won't be as dry and as brittle because it's been getting the moisture, versus you not moisturizing it the whole time. Then you take it out, then you try to manipulate it, then you try to work on it. You never moisturized it the whole time, or you didn't wet it and bring some moisture back to it. And then you take those braids or those twists and things out, and then now your hair is more prone to breakage because it's been very, very dry and very, very deprived. And it's kind of hard to replace all of that moisture as you're taking it out. You could try though. You can absolutely try. And I would always recommend, if you kept a protective style in for a long time, if possible and as much as possible, you want to take that out on moisturized hair. So you want to put conditioner on your hair while you're taking out your twists, if you've kept them in for a really long time and it was a protective style. Or have it a little bit damp while you're taking it out, instead of doing it dry. So many of us, when we were like younger and our moms would do our hair and things, they would put it in the twists or the braids or whatever they put it in, then they take it out and they comb it and they do all of this while it's dry, and they detangle it while it's dry. And that's actually not a good thing, because your hair is very vulnerable at that point, and you combing through it and working through it while it's dry is definitely causing breakage. So be careful with that. Using a glycerin and water mix, lightly spraying the length of your twist from root to end daily will really help. And you'll notice that your own hair will stay very moist. And when it comes time to take them out, your hair will not be as dry and as brittle, but instead very soft. So if you keep it moisturized, when you go to take it out, it hopefully will not be as dry. Hair that snaps off easily. This person said, my hair is super dry and I'm not sure what I did to cause it, but it keeps snapping off easily. If I touch it, it just breaks. So she said the first thing you need is to go get she says go get a wig. I'm not advocating for wigs. You always got scarves, hats, things like that. You will need this if your hair is breaking off badly, but it sounds like this person's hair is breaking off from heavy protein gel or conditioner or neglect or even serious heat. Let me read that again, because these are all things. So conditioner can be causing it to break off if it's not right for your hair. Heavy protein in your products, in your gel, in the things that you're using can cause it to break off. Doing too many protein treatments can cause it to break off. It makes it a little bit too, I don't know, it just makes it a little bit too coarse, giving it too much protein. Neglect, of course, and if you're putting excessive heat in it, all of those things to cause it to break off. So let's see. She said you will need a plastic cap, the thin ones that you can find at a beauty store. Put your own hair into 6 or 8 twists, more if you need to, and you will be leaving it in this way underneath your protective item. So if it's that hat or that scarf or whatever, which I really like this. After you're doing your own hair, saturate it with the following mixture. You can make a mixture of activator gel plus castor oil and mix it together. Rinse your hair while it's still in a twist. Wring out the extra water, leaving it a little bit damp, and then place your hair, give your hair that activator and that castor oil mix. So you rinse your hair first, getting it, wringing it out so it's a little damp, then putting that castor oil and activator on it. Place the cap over your hair and sit under a steam cap for 10 minutes. And for the final step, you're not gonna rinse your hair, but let the moisture sit on your hair for a full day. After several hours, then you rinse it out and keep rinsing it and re-moisturizing it without removing your protective style, and let it sit on the hair until it stops breaking. This step will save your hair every time. So whenever you experience extreme hair loss and breakage due to, it could be an accident or just over protein or excess dryness, it does take a few days for your hair to regain moisture, but this process needs time for you to see results. After a few days, the breakage should stop. So it just basically looks like she's giving this person the advice to kind of put your hair in a protective style. Nothing too crazy though, kind of like chunky twist that you're putting your hair in. And then you are kind of deep conditioning it with the castor oil she recommended and an activator gel, mixing those together. But any deep conditioner is usually a good thing for you. Just again, be careful of the products, because if too much protein is your problem and you get another product with protein in it, that won't be good either. So you do want to be careful. But putting that on your hair and letting it sit for a few hours or overnight so that it can really sink in, so you can kind of replenish the moisture back into your hair and kind of help your hair out a lot. But again, it takes time. Depending on the severity of the damage of your hair, it really takes time. All right, let's see. The next one. How do you handle very short hair? This person says her hair is very short, and if she tries all the routines that are recommended in this book and her hair can't grow past a certain length, what should she do differently? So the author's response to that is, hey Capricorn, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. The author's response to that was that I'm certain you didn't follow through with everything. Don't work, and usually something is off. Something they did should not have been done. But you may not have done, let me go back because I skipped a page. Here is what you may not have done that you can do now and see a major difference. So when your hair is very short, it needs to pass through a grow out phase. And this is where your hair is uneven because of its various lengths. And the ends are uneven and therefore it doesn't have as much strength as the rest of your hair. So there is much more strength in numbers. The thicker your hair grows, the stronger it's going to be when you're styling it. And this is mainly due to the bulk of the strands all being equal length. So I hope that makes sense to you. One thing that you need to get past is a protective style. One thing that you need to get past that phase is a protective style, and until you have grown your hair out past those to a multi-length stage. So she was just saying, if you want it, a lot of times we get in ruts with our hair and our hair stays at the same length. And many times for those of us who are loose naturals, in order to get your hair past a length that it's never been before, you oftentimes need to do something that you've never done before, but in a good way. And sometimes it could be putting in more protective styles and letting those styles stay in a little bit longer. Not forgetting, like we mentioned before, to keep them moisturized, and to be rinsing it and still be caring for it while it's in that protective style. But sometimes our constant styling, even if you feel like your routine is good, sometimes your constant styling has something in it or some part in it that is still causing breakage. So you do have to be careful. If you're doing a style or routine that you think is really good, like I put my conditioner on, I put my oil in, and I detangle it, and you just feel like really confident in what you're doing, but your hair length is staying the same, there's something in your routine that you need to switch up, or maybe something in your routine that's causing breakage. And I know for a lot of people with curly hair, that something is usually in that detangling part. The way you detangled, when you detangled, how you detangled, how fast you detangled, many times that can cause a lot of breakage, or it could be the styles that you keep choosing to wear as well. So yeah, do something different. Very fine hair that snaps easily. This person told the author that their hair is very fine. It breaks off easily. What can you do to make it stronger and thicker? And so the author's response is, first, I would like to say that fine hair does not mean your hair is also thin. Very true. And I think I have a video on this channel talking about the difference between fine hair. I think if you look for it, you might be able to find it. But you can have a huge dense head of hair, but your individual strands could be very fine. So my hair, the author said her hair is very full, but her strands are quite fine. And I have to say that fine hair does have its disadvantages because it does break off very easily. However, on the positive side, there are many things you can do to keep it strong. And the secret of it all is to keep a steady routine, maintaining the practices that she mentioned here in this book, the O'Hara method, which I did try to include the link in my description so that you can check it out. And you should hopefully get the book and the products that she mentions, but if not, I'll try to go back and fix that. But it should be a link in there. The whole O'Hara method will boost the strength of your hair, and oils are the best solution for fine hair. Too much moisture can easily dry rot very fine hair, and too frequent protein treatments can be a disaster. Oil steaming is a very best solution for maintaining a balance of moisture and strength when your hair is fine. However, do not use a protein conditioner more than once or twice a month because the extra coating will cause your hair to break badly. So please do not forget this. We're kind of on the last page. If your hair is experiencing extreme breakage due to a freak happening or like a freak accident, then you may have an emergency on your hair, and I would suggest an Apogee protein treatment or product. It's the only non-natural hair care product that she would recommend as something to do immediately. The reason she likes the Apogee products and protein treatments is she's relied on it for colored hair disasters that she may have seen, over-processing, and more super disasters each and every time it managed to save her hair. However, this was many, many years ago, and her routine is simple, clean, and highly functional. Disasters like this are a thing of the past. So it's not something the author sees a lot. The Apogee products, we did used to use them when I was working in a hair salon. We used the protein treatments, and I think they were not too bad. If I'm not mistaken, they were not too bad. And if I had to give a protein treatment, I probably would go for that one first because I know it well and we used it quite a bit. So that is probably one that I would go to first. But yes, very fine hair that snaps. I think one of the biggest things is to be gentle with your hair and to keep it moisturized. Now, she kind of said don't overcoat it, but like in my experience with my hair, I have to overcoat it. So when I was a Loc Natural, I have to overcoat it. It's got to be so much product on it that me manipulating it or twisting it or detangling it or whatever, it's like my hair almost doesn't feel it because there's so much product on it, but it's a good product that agrees with my hair. So in my experience, the curlier your hair, sometimes having a nice creamy product to go on it that's slick and smooth really, really helped me when I was detangling, and it helped me retain. All right, those are some questions that she got. The very last page of this book, and I'm so excited because we're done. The very last page of this book is just her recommended products. And like I said, I think I included that in the description box. I'm going to try to go back later and check it out. I got this book from Facebook, I think. That's not where I originally got it from. I originally got it from some website. I can't remember where years ago. But when I went to look for it a couple of years ago, I got it again off of Facebook. So her Facebook thing is on there too. If I'm able to include that link, I will try. But when I looked up Grow Black Hair Long on Facebook, that's how I kind of got it. So if you look that up, you can see the book yourself and see all the tips and the things that we read through. Again, I really, really love this book. It was the first book that I read that actually made having healthy hair a possibility, as far as somebody with extremely fine hair strands and somebody with extremely curly hair, because for the longest time, nobody knew what to do with my hair. So that book really helped. And when I started using a lot of the methods there, especially the protective styling, but still rinsing it and moisturizing it while it was in the protective style, that helped me out so much. And I finally started to understand my hair more. And her recommendations for natural products that you can use on your hair, or natural things that you can use on your hair, replacements for shampoos, all of that good stuff, the different types of conditioners that she talked about. We did not learn that in cosmetology school. So learning it from that book helped me go ahead and do my own research. So yes, if you got time, go ahead, check out the book. I think it's on Facebook. That's how I got it. And then it gave me a link to that in the description box. Go ahead and read the book for yourself. And it's a really, really super easy read. It took me a while to read it on here with the commentary, but it's easy to read, and all the information is kind of straightforward, not a lot of fluff. But if you don't want to read it yourself, just go back and watch all the videos, because now we are complete. We have all the videos on this channel. So go ahead and check it out. I think it's a great book for all of us with extra curly hair. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you all stopping by. Questions, comments, don't forget to leave them down below. But yes, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the book as a whole. And let me know if you try any other things from the book. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next one. So until next time, adios.